Well, guys, there have been some bad teams so far this season. There have been some bad teams, there have been some bad plays. But there is one particular team who's not only bad this year, but they will be bad for decades. Before we get into it, guys, please make sure to like and subscribe if you're new. We thoroughly appreciate it. Texas Rangers. They are in a world of hurt right now. 24-39, good for last in their division with a team OPS of 667 and a team ERA of 4.53. Oof. Before I talk about why they're so bad now and why they're going to be bad for years, let's look at how they got here. We all remember this. Boom! Goodbye. See ya. Knocking them out of the playoffs, Jose Bautista in 2015, and then in 2016, we did it again. And they just never could recover because that was the beginning of the decline for the Texas Rangers. From 2016 to 2017, the Texas Rangers lost a lot of guys. Mitch Moreland, Ian Desmond, Derek Holland, and they didn't really bring in a whole lot of talent. They also started with Fielder and Diekman on the IL, and that same year, they traded Yu Darvish away to the Dodgers. So they were kind of just a shell of their former 2015-2016 self, and the record reflected it. Look at this, tied for third in your division after you go postseason 2 years in a row. That's simply not good enough, and 2018 was no better. Oh, look at that record, 67-95, that is the pits. And these guys kind of bought into that because in the span of 30 days, they made 6 trades for players to be named later. That is just full committing to the tank for the Texas Rangers. The biggest problem with this team is that they haven't had a solid guy, a solid foundation to build around. Like for the Toronto Blue Jays, we have our beautiful MVP, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and we love him, and he's the best. But on the Texas Rangers, they haven't really had that. I suppose you could make an argument for Joey Gallo, but this guy has had his trips to the IL. And I mean, even though he is a home run king, a career batting average of 209, I don't know if that's a guy that you can build around. Basically, they're just screwed right now. They're going to have to trade Joey Gallo this year if they want to get anything back for him, and they don't have any foundation. One guy who is kind of nice for them right now is Garcia. Like, he's doing really good, and he could potentially be somebody that they could build around. If you look at the numbers, like, they're definitely solid, but he's also 28 and has kind of come out of nowhere, so they're relying heavily that this guy continues. Now, this is the biggest reason that they're going to be screwed for decades. These are their prospects. Look at those ranks. 2 in the top 100, rank 50, rank 63. That's just not good enough for the situation that you're in right now, guys. Like, I'm not saying that these guys are gonna be busts, you know, like you don't have to be highly ranked to be busts. Look at Manoah. He didn't even make the top 100. But the probability that MLB prospects flop, it's pretty high. And if those guys flop, so do you, Texas. It is also not helpful that neither of those guys are pitchers. Your best player, Kyle Gibson, right now is a pitcher, and he's 33 years old, and he's the only serviceable starter that you guys have right now. Basically, if these guys don't get any young prospects, any foundation, they're just in for a world of hurt, and it will be decades before they can respond. But let me know what you think in the comments down below, guys, about these Texas Rangers and how long it will take for the rebuild to really begin.